Morning Hookup on KFOR.
Good morning, Lincoln, Nebraska. Happy hump day. Welcome in the morning hookup. Bill Hooks, Elijah Hurdle, hanging out in the morning hookup this morning. Hope you have your Wednesday off to a great start. Ours is.
Doesn't get any better than this.
No, it's cold outside, but I'm okay.
You got Fall Out Boy going?
Yes. Ready to light them up?
Want to elaborate on that?
I don't know.
What do you mean by
I don't know. I do. You know what? So I got to tell you this. I was having this conversation, and I'm not going to say who, what, when, why, how, okay? But I will. I was this morning. I'm like, I'm smelling my shirt, right? These are the ones I wear to work afterwards, and they always have like a little grease to them. But they had this like patchouli smell.
Patchouli?
Yeah, like that when you smoke the dope and
Okay.
you light up stuff to make it smell better. Someone got my daughter a shirt, and it smelled just like it, so we tried to wash it, and apparently somebody washed it with the other clothes.
Smell everything.
Terrible. Terrible. I got my wife called. She's like, did you? No, I don't even know who did it. I'm not taking whatever. She's like, we have to rewash this. And I said, it's probably going to take you 3 times to get that smell. I'm like sitting here going, they think I'm the guy now.
So it's kind of just got like a, what would you call it? A hippie
Like,
smell?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Can
we say that?
I know the exact thing.
That smell,
in
right?
my own head. Yeah.
That smell. So I'm like,
One of those smells where it's not offensive, but you don't want to smell like it either.
yes, because you get like people will look at you and go, know what Hooks has been doing, trying to cover it up. They give you that look, like, yeah, he's the guy. It's like the ones that put the stickers in the back of their car, like the marijuana leaf.
Oh, yeah.
It just screams. I do it.
Yeah,
I'm into it. That's what this smell to me smells like. I'm into it.
You smell like Denver, Colorado.
Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, that's it. But welcome in. We're have a lot of fun today. We're going to talk here in a little bit. Our new athletic director spoke yesterday. I didn't get to see it, but I saw a lot of comments. And I drew one thing out of there that we can talk about of the landscape of college athletics that he said. Because I think that's a big thing for him, right? Not going to be a follower, going to be a leader. Because it is changing ever so much. And then we'll have Henry T. Buchanan right around 10:20. We'll recap Memphis because I got to probably spend of the 30-something hours I was there, I was probably with T 10 to 15 of those, hanging out with him. Get his thoughts, how he felt about the event and in the overall result.
We also probably got to get some transfer portal thoughts too, because that's going to start getting real hot and heavy.
Because I know yesterday, and I was gone. I appreciate Will, Hugh hanging out, and you guys taking care of them. But yeah, I know yesterday there was a lot of people. There was a lot of stuff. Eli Rice. Blaze Keita.
Mm-hmm. You had Lloyd 2 days ago.
Lloyd. Couple not surprised. A couple not surprised.
But then you also had Frankie Fiddler up watching Creighton's practice yesterday.
Yes,
another
there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on.
And this is what it's like. This to basketball is like what the football season, whenever the transfer portal opens up, but the bowl season still hasn't started yet, but conference championships just finished up, and you got teams that are still prepping and others that are going hot and heavy in the portal. Probably college basketball's got the same issue this year because the NCAA tournament's still going strong.
Look how quickly
the
it's happening.
still going strong.
Yes.
Did you watch that Indiana State game last
did.
night?
We could talk about it. It was awesome.
That was a great game.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah, Avila.
He's special. I like watching him.
He's a lot of fun.
The fact that they didn't get them in the tournament so we could enjoy that part stinks.
Agreed 100%. But it's that time of the year where you still got teams playing. You got other teams that are able to go full bore into the transfer portal now that you've been bounced by, say, Texas A&M.
I was there. That really sucked. So we'll have a lot of fun with that also. By the way, also, I got somebody that sent this to me today because they know it's near and dear to me. I don't get into all the daily holiday stuff until somebody sends one to me.
Oh, I saw today because you know who sent it to me today?
Who?
It was Schmitty.
Yeah,
Schmitty texted me, just in case you're wondering.
So you got it too. I don't get these texts unless it like really pertains to me. And I had a buddy, Happy International Whiskey Day.
I can get down with that.
I was trying to take the week off after coming back from Memphis. It ain't working today. Now that I know it's International Whiskey Day.
So my birthday was about 2 weeks ago now.
Yeah.
My aunt and uncle got me a really good bottle of rye whiskey for my birthday. I shouldn't say
Okay.
really good. It's not anything special. Don't get me wrong.
You don't know
But-
yet. Have you tried it?
Oh, I tried it.
Oh, so it's good.
But I have to try it in moderation because it is 124 proof. It's like the barrel strength
My
single barrel. Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah. One tiny glass of that and you are asleep on the couch.
That's a night. That's when you go out and come home. You have your night drink.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, so that's
You didn't even
Happy
finish
International
it.
Whiskey Day. So, hey, also yesterday, I know I was out yesterday. I was doing some personal stuff. I had to tell you this. So, and if this is probably me as a man saying this, all the men out there, because I think women do this way better than we do. When it is time for your age or whatever to get whatever scan or whatever treatment you need to get, as I was with my wife yesterday, she had a procedure done yesterday, and I'm sitting in this waiting room, right? It was like all women, by the way. And I'm thinking the men should be doing this too, right? Twilight sleep stuff. So you know where I'm at. Men, don't be too proud. Go get your scans. It's a public service. There you go.
PSA.
Yes, because I've got my orders to get mine done. It's a thing you get supposed to be done when you're at 50. Now it's age of 45. I was inspired because I held my orders for like 2 months. I'm going in next month.
Nice.
I'm like, man, look all these females. Like there's no pride. They just go get it done. I think men, when they have those types of things they're supposed to do at certain ages, are too proud. Oh, I'm fine. I feel great. I ain't gonna get that done. Just go do it.
Well, it's that combination, and I say this as a guy who is 20 years away from that, but it's that combination also of like, oh, I can't miss work. That's gonna feel rearranged in the routine.
I gotta ask for the time off.
I feel good.
I'm gonna do it all for nothing. I'm gonna be fine, but maybe they're not. And until we just don't know. So it just maybe got me thinking because I saw a lot of females yesterday doing this. I'm like, where are all the dudes at? Maybe it's just that day, but like, all right, just go get it done. I've had a couple people in cases that I know of, in-laws or older people that did not do that. They'd end up having problems, right? It's almost like I'm saying, like, go find out the answers, right? Go get the answers and then work your way back. Go get everything answered. There you go. Had to say it because I'm like, man.
Word of the wise from both.
Yeah, there you go. So, yesterday, boy, Troy Dannon took the podium yesterday. I did not get a chance to see it. I got a lot of people commenting on it, about it. I heard the word awkward at one point. Him taking it. I love the fact that he said he's home to win. You're going to be a leader. Like, we're going to be the leader. We're not going to be the follower of the changing landscape. What did you think? Because I'm pretty sure you saw it, took some notes on it. Because the only thing I got from it is when he talked about NIL and how much gear he's going to wear.
And I have some cuts that we could play here this morning.
Absolutely.
What I'll say is he definitely settled in to it. He started off a little awkward with the jokes. I mean, you had both Kaborik and Pillin get up there and speak, and they're in a tough spot because, like, it's important for the new AD that you get up and speak. That being said, nobody is here to listen to you speak.
No, right? It's like, let's introduce the guy, get him up there. Let's talk and let's do the Q&A.
There's a fine line to walk there. So,
by the way, is it also a custom? Maybe I don't remember this from the last time. For the governor to talk if you're not a part of the process. I'm just asking the question. These are all the fun stuff that I'm like, I got questions on. I don't remember Ricketts standing up when Frost got introduced saying, hey, look at me.
That being said, I don't think Ricketts was as hands-on with the university as someone like Pillin, the former regent.
For sure.
So that should be noted.
So it's just interesting. I got that question came to me too.
I see. Whenever he got up there, I went, "Oh yeah, that makes sense. He's going to get up there and talk." He was involved in this. He gave out a little letter. He wanted to make sure everyone knows that that he put it on the board of regents, and now they've gotten things done. So
hey, I was a lead recruiter. I got him.
Yeah. On the other side, did you have to talk for 15 minutes? But...
Yeah. Oh man, was it 15?
Yeah,
so
I'm exaggerating, but
a lot. So then you had all that.
Yeah. That being said, the man of the hour was Troy Dannon.
Absolutely, and it should have been. Should have been. Him and his family got there, by the way, dressed all in red, which was awesome.
I mean, I loved how they're giving out the gifts where the little guy's putting on the football jersey, and they give the volleyball jersey off to his daughter. His wife gets a clear bag, which is funny. And he made a little joke about
of course. That's what she get in the stadium now.
But that being said, the takeaways I had were mostly based on field, because we've learned a lot about Troy Dannon. We knew he was a football guy coming into this. That was confirmed yesterday. Obviously, his number one concern is the football program. You heard about football more than about anything else yesterday. That wasn't a surprise. I mean, he laid out his goals. They're more big picture. It's not anything that was pressing that he had to come in and fix or save, which is in stark contrast to a lot of other athletic directors that have been introduced at Nebraska since Tom Osborne, really. And they all had something immediately they need to fix, whether it be the football program, hiring a basketball coach, hiring a football coach. There's always been something they've had to do. Clean up the athletic department in the case of Trev, trim some of the fat. Dannon doesn't walk into that kind of situation. So in terms of what we learned, it's a lot of big picture stuff. He wants to win. We heard that. I mean, nothing that is groundbreaking there. So most of my takeaways came in the field department. And one of the things that you've heard a lot over the past week has been Dannon's coming back home for family. They're doubling his salary. Of course he's coming back home. You got the feel, though, of a guy that was excited, not because he was closer to family and he was closer to home, not because he's getting this big raise, but because he has the opportunity of a lifetime to be the athletic director at Nebraska. And that's what it should feel like. Becoming the athletic director at Nebraska is a dream that a lot of athletic administrators have and will never reach. And you just felt that excitement of a guy understanding and appreciating the type of place Nebraska is. He grew up in Iowa. He knows what Nebraska was.
He gets it.
And he knows what it can be. He gets it. You just felt that excitement. That was my number one takeaway was, man, it's refreshing to have a guy that I don't want to say feels like a fan in the athletic director's chair, because I don't think that's the correct term. But you can kind of get what I'm saying is like, you have a guy, a rah guy that is just seemingly really, really excited to be in the big chair at the University of Nebraska. And that in and of itself, I think, is a win, given some of the discourse in the past week and given what Nebraska felt like. You take it back to 13 days ago, the day after Trev Alberts leaves, the feel in Nebraska, man, we lost to go. People don't want to be at Nebraska, apparently. You got the feel yesterday of a guy in Troy Dannon that wants to be at Nebraska.
I got to tell you, I've read a lot about the presser, and I'm going to go back just before this. I'm going to go back to Memphis. We're going to go back to Corvallis. Let's even go back before that, where he was at football. He didn't have to do that, right? Like, he's the new athletic director, got announced before all this. And again, we all probably knew that after, at some point, there was a date, which was yesterday, he'd be introduced formally. But the fact that, and it goes right with you, him being comfortable. The fact that they got him here so quick. When he went to football practice on the Capitol lawns, got introduced, right? You could see how comfortable he was getting there. Immediately gets to Memphis, right? I was around that. He seemed so comfortable in a short amount of time wearing red. Then he gets back. He doesn't sleep. Where else do we go? We go to Corvallis, where he looked comfortable. He had a statement in there that I really loved, and this wasn't at the presser. He's here to champion everything Nebraska. That's a huge statement. The fact that you got in no sleep, get on the plane, go meet the people, go be a part of something, go be present. He's going to be one of those that's going to be super present in everything. Like, that said a lot, because you didn't have to do that as an athletic director after he spent 20 minutes at Washington to come and go and meet the football team and get on the plane. He could have stayed back and go, look, man, that's their time.
I mean, hey, even Trev didn't make it to Friday night. And there's obviously a different.
But he didn't make it to Sunday. Weird.
Not weird. We know why.
Yeah, he stayed away.
He stayed away.
But
you can show that in contrast to a guy in Dan.
I just love everybody. Like, he does seem really comfortable. That's a big part, the comfortable part. Let's go to some. We do have some. I want to talk. The one I really liked, and we'll get to it if it's in here. Do you have one with the NIL stuff? I'm looking at it right here.
Yes.
Let's play it, because I think there's a lot of people, and I've said this, and I think a lot of people have felt this. There's a big struggle down there, I believe, because there's some things up in the air, because Dannon he's been gone. He hasn't had a chance. You got this big, massive stadium renovation that's still in the books, right? He don't know a lot about that yet. You got a university pulling this, trying to get money. But then you got this other side, the NIL, the collective 1890, right? Sounds like a lot of people are like, Trev's over here with the university. He ain't spending a lot of time over here. Dannon is going to spend a lot more time sitting over here trying to get that money flow with 1890.
And I believe it's in this cut.
Yep.
This is on just kind of generally the next 5 years in college
Yes,
athletics, what it looks like.
That he
The
makes a
importance of
bold
NIL.
statement in this too. Yes.
Yeah. So I believe he gets into
Perfect.
NIL here. So let's hear from Troy Dannon.
The relationship our student athletes have with the university is going to continue to change and evolve. We can speculate what it looks like, but know this. If you think the last 5 years in college athletics have been wild, the next 5 years are going to put it to shame. There's a lot happening, and I don't think any of us know exactly what's going to happen. Nebraska, though, remember this, Nebraska became one of the greatest brands in college sports for one reason, because we won. You know how we won? We won because in '69, Devaney hired a strength coach when nobody knew strength coaches were ever going to be important. It's because we took initiatives with our student athletes time and time again to elevate them and put them in a position to succeed. Our student athletes, this is a great place. We do things for them that nobody else is doing. We are a national leader. But today, it's more than strength. It's more than nutrition. It's more than even the degree. It's more than facilities. It's more than giving a laptop when they come. It's more than, hey, we're going to prepare you for success throughout your life. Success now is about innovation in NIL. It's innovation in how we embrace the role of the student athlete inside of our athletic department. Success is about our collective. You're going to see me wearing 1890 stuff as much as I wear Nebraska stuff because it's about this. Recruitment and retention of our student athletes, number one.
Preach. Like, again, I go back and people don't realize, like he said it, like, you think the last 5 years have been crazy? Hang on. The next 5 are going to be electric. And we better keep up. Right? We better keep up with this. Because, I mean, again, you got to remember, like, the athletes have changed on what they're looking for, how they're looking. They just are. And it's not just football, it's basketball, it's everywhere. Like, they're just looking for different things. Right? And you've got universities that know that maybe there's somebody unhappy that they're going to, like, let's just call it tampering. That's out there. It's a different landscape. You better be flush.
And what's incredible is the landscape now might be completely different than what it is in 5 years. Think about what now is compared to 5 years ago. 2019, how different college football was pre-COVID.
Yes.
To where it is
we
now.
Were just on the cusp of people talking about this stuff.
Think about March of 2030. What are we going to be talking about in college football? You might have 24 teams in the Big Ten and the SEC. You might have revenue sharing. You might have student athletes getting a % of every single TV dollar that goes to the university.
No idea, but at least like he said, you got to be ready.
You have a guy that understands first and foremost through all the changes, the student athlete comes first, and keeping them on campus, keeping them on the playing field. That is what's going to be important.
Yeah.
That's what's important now. That's what's important 5 years ago. That's what's important 5 years from now. There's different ways to go about that. But first and foremost, the priority is getting student athletes to Nebraska and keeping them.
Yes. And that, I think the key, what you just said, is keeping them. You can get them here originally. Like initially, like, all right, you got you. Signed here. It's the re-recruitment every single year. The flush of whatever, the flush of cash, the whatever you got to get to. And Dannon told you, like, this whole thing, and we all kind of felt this and watched this evolution of conference realignment and all that, right? New teams coming and going. This whole thing's going to revolve around the Big Ten and the SEC. Dan, I love this. He goes, he's got the adults table at Thanksgiving dinner. Like, he's got a seat there now. Nebraska has a seat. You're at the adult table at Thanksgiving dinner. I like the kid table still at Thanksgiving because there's less crap going on. But it's going to evolve around that, and we better be ready to rock.
You're not on this. There is fun to the kids table.
A lot of fun.
That being said, the important stuff goes down at the adults table.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. But Thanksgiving's like, man, I just want to take a break from all that crap. Right? So, all right.
Get me away from the boring people in the family.
Boring people talking about their ailments, aches, and crap. I'm done.
Going and getting scans.
Yeah. Thanks. That's where I'm at. I just got elevated to that level. So, all right, let's take our first break. I can see him. He's in the lobby waiting on us. When we come back, we'll have the Husker legend, Henry T. Buchanan.
Birds and rainbow skies filled with playful unicorns. Oh no, sometimes it's bad, really bad. Roof-ripping winds, punishing pounding rains, power-killing thunderstorms, and deadly tornadoes. Know what to expect. The latest forecast is at the top and bottom of every hour. Lincoln's breaking news and severe weather station, KFOR, 103.3 FM and 1240 AM.
What moves you? Whether it's running a race or playing with your grandkids, orthopedic specialists at CHI Health are dedicated to helping you keep life moving. We offer the latest surgical and non-surgical treatments, so you have options for painful shoulders, knees, hips, and every joint in between. Don't let joint pain put life on pause. Count on our team of orthopedic specialists to begin your journey back to what moves you today.
T, what's up?
What's happening? What's happening?
Oh, I'm okay. I'm sure checking my body back right from being in Memphis.
Man, I'm just looking at these portals entries. Oh my God.
Yeah, we'll talk about those. I think 2 are no surprise.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? We'll just clear up some space. We'll just clear up some space.
Yeah. One I didn't mind.
Lloyd.
No, I just
Oh,
got a text
Blaze.
that Rice just went.
Yeah, you got 3. So those 3 of them went yesterday. You had Blaze, Eli, and Ramil.
Well, Ramil, yeah. Well, I'm not going to go there. I mean, I'm not going to be critical, but you know, I just thought he was in over his head. Rice, I think, you know, I thought he was promising.
Yeah, I thought so too. That's an interesting one. Again, that's a surprise. That's a surprise. When'd you make it back?
Not till Monday.
Oh, that's right. You stayed out there in Haifa. Man, you're that was your cousin, right?
Yeah, yeah.
She was awesome. I'm gonna talk about her when we come on.
Yeah, oh yeah, she's good people, man. She's good,
Man.
She was all fired up, and I was going to try to get some more tickets for her kids. They wanted, if we would have won against Texas A&M, which, man, Houston almost found out how tough they are, but that would have been nice to get back Sunday.
I would have had a problem if we'd have won too.
Well, you had a strategic problem. Birthday, and how'd the birthday go?
It was good. It was good. Yeah, man. We again, we had dinner after the game. Remember, we had those ribs were on fire, by the way. They were so good.
Your ribs look a little bit better than ours.
You think yours weren't very good?
No, it was good. I like the sauce, but yours looked like it was a little bit more tender.
Well, you know what? So the way I do ribs is I don't get sauce on them.
Oh,
I get the sauce on the side every time.
Okay.
Every time. I do that with wings too. Wings.
See,
wings and ribs. I go on the side.
I'm the type of I like whenever the ribs have the nice tacky sauce on there, like that light layer that gets cooked on real time. I don't like it when they get real goopy.
Super saucy. And that's why I think these were super saucy.
Ours was a hot mess. I mean, they must have poured a half a bottle on it. It just, because we were looking at yours, I'm like, man, and we both thought it. We got to our house, and it was like, what was wrong with our ribs in comparison to Bishop's?
I've always done that. No sauce on ribs or wings. I get whatever sauce.
I got to remember that. I got to remember that.
By the way, my night didn't end until like 1 a.m.
Oh, well, the night before.
Oh, yeah, that ended that time too.
Great time though, man. That's what the Huskers do, man. It'd have been nice to get a win, but
this is the morning hookup on KFOR.
Welcome back in the morning hookup again. Happy Wednesday. Thanks for hanging out with myself, Elijah Herbal, and we got our guy, fresh. Kind of he's probably just getting settled back in, but from Memphis, one Husker legend, Henry T. Buchanan. T, what's up, my friend?
What's up, Bill? What's up, Elijah?
How we doing?
Oh, man, I got to tell you, T, boy, we'll go through the week because I know it's the game disappointing. We'll get to that part and where the Huskers go next in their offseason because it's already started. But, buddy, I got to tell you, man, I've told this story. So I get to Memphis with my buddy at about 8:30 that night. our hotel is about, I could see the bar I'm going to.
That's
Right?
Bill Hook's number one priority.
I could see it. Like, I don't know how quickly we can get up these elevators. I might take the stairs, throw it away. Let's go. So we get out there and I walk in, and it's just, by the way, it's red for days up and down Bill Street. I don't know if I saw more than 5 fans of any other team outside until we got into the arena on Friday night. Okay. But
and
I
it
get
was still
there.
full of red. The arena was still full of red.
It was still full of red.
It was just a little pocket of Texas A&M fans right there,
which is crazy. But I go into this bar called the Tin Roof, and I'm talking to one Robin Washit. I see Jake Muehlheisen. We're hanging out, and a bunch of other people that I know. And I'm like, well, T's supposed to meet us here. They're like, no, T's here. I look out on the patio. I look to the right. Elijah, it was like, the movie The Godfather, right? Like The Advice. I look at this table. It is like, I believe it was KP, maybe Tom Chattel, I believe, and Henry T. Buchanan. Like, you can now come to the table. That's what the table was.
You may see the non.
Like, I'm like, I don't know if I should go there. Like, I started walking that way, and they're like, you here to see T? The legends were there, man, and we had a great time.
I was imagining them looking around T, like, you vouching for this guy?
Yeah, you know this guy?
But Kip Pavelka is always a good conversation. I mean, his passion. I mean, you're talking about passion, and what he has 40+ years for radio, and his passion for the program, and the things that he's observed and witnessed, and he wants the same things that we want, and he's been there longer than all of us, and just to listen to some of the stories and just the desire for us to get that win, and Coach Hoiberg is the guy to do it. I don't care how I know there are always going to be some critics and some naysayers or what have you, and I think he proved this year that he has the ability and the coaching, and from a coaching perspective and recruiting, because I'm sure they're out there hitting the path right now with the transfer portal after losing 3, and he's going to go out there, and we got to get some bigs. I texted him after the game and just said, hey, we need to get bigger and better. What I meant by bigger, we need to get some athletes. I mean, we need about 5 of Gary's, and Josiah's, that's big and strong, who can run the floor, who can jump, and who can bang. And that's what, the games that I saw this year that we really struggled against is real strong athletic teams. And I think that's where we're going to have to gear towards. But you got to take what's best available. And whatever he takes is going to be able to fit his system, and he'll be successful. We may have a better year next year.
Well, T, you kind of bring up a good point here. There was the retooling from Hoiberg from whenever he first showed up at Nebraska, was trying to run a very
5 out
fun and gun offense. And he had to retool, become a bit of a defensive team to make it in the Big Ten. You saw that this year. You made some strides. With this result, looking ahead to another offseason with likely more retooling coming, was this result against Texas A&M, was that a hiccup in the road or just a part of the process? Because you think about it now as there's growth that you can go out and sell in the transfer portal. You can go and show people, hey, this is what we did this year. We got these guys playing in the NBA. How about Delano Banton really coming on strong late in the season? You can sell that. You can sell an NCAA tournament appearance. So that's my question to you. Was this an unanticipated hiccup from Hoiberg now seeing he has to retool a little bit more, or just a part of that retooling process still continuing on for another year?
Well, it's always a retooling process. And number one, you got to retool for the Big Ten. And number two, you got to retool for the NCAA. Because, other than, I would say, Rutgers, with their big man in the middle, the big athlete, Maryland, very similar to Texas A&M. I just think with the Big Ten, and the Big Ten teams, what do you have, 2 left? Illinois and Purdue.
Yep, 2 left. So it just still seems that we beat up on each other throughout the year, but we don't adjust from a conference perspective to the NCAA. So so in my personal opinion, we're going to have to catch up, not only keeping up with the Big Ten, but we got to find a way to adjust to the NCAA and the way it's called and the type of teams that you're playing against.
Although I still say Texas A&M was very similar to Maryland. And I mean, let's be honest, they shoot less than 30% for the season from the 3-point line. And all of a sudden you're shooting 60% in the first half and 56.5% for the game. And that just, that was an anomaly. That doesn't happen. And then you think about what they did against Houston, which, they gave Houston everything they wanted and more. So I think Frere's going to go out there and he's going to look for size. Definitely got to replace Blaze. He got to replace Josiah. So he's going to have to find some 6'10", maybe a 7-footer. And I'm even watching Indiana State, and I'm watching some of the NITs and watching some of the athletes that they have and some of the bigs, even the conference, some of the WAC conference, some of the mid-major conferences, and they got some big guys that can flat out play. And I'm talking about running the floor and more European style, shooting the threes. Being able to pass, similar to what Mass brings to the table, but maybe a little bit taller, a little bit more athletic. So I think that's where we're going to have to look. We got Euless coming in next year. So with Euless, with the kid from Wisconsin. So from a guard perspective, I don't think we're going to be too bad in that area, especially the way Lawrence came on that towards the end of the season or second half of the conference. So we're going to have to find some bigs. And hopefully he's out there looking in the transfer portal and even from the high school ranks. And I heard you guys talking earlier, recruiting is different. And it's, hey, you're recruiting, ask Calipari. I mean, I don't know if he's on the hot seat or not, but I know DeMarcus Cousins and Rondo is going at it. One think he should be out and one think he should stay. So it is all about the transfer portal and the NIL. So think about that. So but Fred was ahead of the game when he was at Iowa State. So this is nothing. Well, I ain't gonna say nothing to him, but it's something that he's accustomed to, and he's going to find the right fit for his program. And I think he's going to build from what he started last year and how he ended this year. So I think we'll be okay.
Again, we're speaking to Husker legend Henry T. Buchanan. T, kind of a big picture kind of deal in streaming off like your time at Nebraska or as an athlete being disappointed, right? We got disappointed athletes. But when you look at this team, you talk about re-recruiting, right? There's guys that we're going to have to re-recruit. But how much as an athlete, when you look at Williams, Lawrence, CJ, Gary, and Mass, they can all come back. How much of that loss made them more hungry? And they might go, you know what? I might have that opportunity, but it made me more hungry, and I want to come back and do this again.
Oh, for sure. Especially now, especially with Lawrence. I can just tell, and I talked to him, and after the game, I went over to the hotel, got a chance to talk to him and Gary and CJ briefly, and just listening, just talking to them, and you can see, the disappointment, number one, and the excitement that they know what they need to do as far as preparation for next year, and they're hungry, and I already see it in their eyes. So I, with Mass as well, because I think Mass, I'm not sure if his aspirations is to make it to the next level, meaning NBA, or will he be going back to Europe? Like Van Pogge. I think Van Pogge's played about 50 years over there in Netherlands, where he's from. But it's based upon what he's looking to do, because I know he can probably go get paid now. Right now, if he, over in his home country, Holland or Netherlands and what have you. But I think the kids are just hungry, and they have something to prove. And they were knocking on the door, man, to get Nebraska's first win in NCAA. And I think they want to be the first team to do it. So that's motivation within itself.
And T, it's decision time for some of those guys, whether or not they're going to be coming back. You think of Wiltshire, you think of Williams, you think of Mast, all guys that have more eligibility, but guys that could be on the way out. One thing you can kind of look into, though, as a hint, you look at some of Nebraska's transfer portal departures, and you think about that. Eli Rice is a guy that I think we can all assume had a bright future at Nebraska. Now he's on the way up. Can you read into that? Maybe it's a crowded room in front of him with guys wanting to come back. Maybe there's portal additions that Hoiberg already has penciled in, maybe not in pen, but in pencil, some guys that he likes there. That was an interesting one to me. You also had Blaze and Ramel Lloyd also entering into the transfer portal. So there's some space clearing being made. And the question to me is kind of, why are these guys leaving? Is there portal additions coming in? Are the guys sticking around? Why are there scholarships coming free at this point? And obviously the portal's so big right now. That was expected, but there's been some unexpected departures among those guys.
Well, number one, these guys were heavily recruited, especially Eli Rice was heavily recruited out of high school. So he knows that there's schools that would sign him in a heartbeat as far as the transfer portal is concerned. And some kids right now, we're in a new era of college basketball. And it's something that the coaches has always had, where, they go to the highest bidder, each and every year, whether they were on a 2-year contract versus a 5-year contract. If another school calls them and going to offer more, they would leave the school, even though they promised they would stay. Now, from a player's perspective, now they, unfortunately, and fortunately for them, that they have options. If they're not happy to, and I'm not saying Rice and Blaze and those guys were not happy, but it's just looking at what they got coming back next year and the recruiting process that they're seeing, that they're looking at where do I fit in, and out of the guys that you just mentioned, I think Rice probably would have fit in a little bit better, but he's still with Gary potentially coming back, Bryce potentially coming back. You got Ulis and the guard from Wisconsin. You got Lawrence. So those are his positions, and where did he fit in? So I totally understand his reasoning, and trust me, Rice will be picked up pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
Blaze, he'll be picked up. Anybody's at 6'11", 7 foot, and coming from a Division I, Power 5 conference school, he'll be picked up. Lloyd, I don't think he's been looked at enough. As far as I know, he played a little bit, of course not this year, but last year and the year before, I think he got a little playing time, but I don't think he was seen enough other than from the AAU perspective. But I just hope the kids that's putting their name in this transfer portal don't get lost in the shuffle, because every year that portal gets bigger and bigger, where a lot of kids are not finding schools and not getting those opportunities, and that's unfortunate. But a guy like Rice with that talent, he'll be okay. But we just got to be prepared for it. Every year we're going to have a different team and different players to root for. And hopefully the facilities and what the fans and what Nebraska brings to the table will keep the core group and compete again next year.
I know one thing you're talking about being prepared. One thing Elijah and I are waiting on is somebody to keep bidding for us on our shows, and it's not happening quite yet.
Prepared though. Prepared.
I'm prepared though. We're prepared. When the phone rings, we're going to answer, and that's be a little negotiating going on. So, T, I do want to ask you a couple more before we get you out of here, man. I got firsthand experience this weekend when I was hanging out with T. A couple of things. One, talk about former teammates coming back. Just to see them, one, because if you guys, I know if you listen to our show, this is the mayor. I'm not taking the title away from Coach Hoiberg, the mayor of the alumni, former athletes coming back right here, because I got a chance to hang out with T, Jeff Reckway and his wife, which was a pleasure to get to meet them.
Yes, Rebecca.
They were amazing. But there was a lot of former teammates back. Talk about that, because then I have a follow up with that one.
Well, definitely, Jeff. I talked to Jeff prior to me making a decision. That night before I made my decision to go, I had told Jeff that I'm not going to make it, and I was he was bringing his wife, and we're making all these plans, and I just said, I just can't make it happen. And of course I changed my mind and met him there the next day, and then talking to Bo Reed, and Bo Reed was actually trying to get me to switch seats, and he said he had 2 seats by where he was sitting at,
Look. You were, once you sat in your seats, you were not moving, because who was sitting in front of you?
Oh, hey, Coach Matt Rule
was dead in front of Coach. Was in front of T.
That's the first time I really got a chance to talk to this Matt Rule, and man, now I see why people like him.
Yes.
The guy's phenomenal. I mean, and just listening to him, and this guy has never met a stranger. I mean, fans are just coming up constantly wanting photos, and just
he took them all too.
Yes, he turned no one down. And then when the game started, he was so focused on the game. And I talked to him in halftime briefly, and I just said, man, Texas A&M is on fire. This is going to be a tough half. He said, we'll be okay. I mean, he still had the confidence that which we both did, had the confidence that, Texas A&M, at least I felt Texas A&M would not be as hot as they were in the first half, and we would turn it around and make a run. And but unfortunately that didn't happen. But he's passionate about Nebraska sports, and there's nothing better to see a football coach traveling to watch the basketball team. And I'm sure if he had the opportunity, he probably wouldn't watch the women's. And kudos to the women's making it to second round. And and they're probably in the same boat as the men's are, and out there hitting the transfer portal. But we got a couple of good recruits though. That the gal from Fremont, the point guard.
Prince.
Yeah. And I know her mom, and my ex-wife is really good friends with and what played with her actually, her mom, and I know the dad, and I've been to the house, and she was a little old girl last time I saw her. Now to be able to see her play at Nebraska, man, it's gonna be pretty nice. I'm looking forward to it. But with that being said, now the former players, we still got that chat, the text, and and the text has been so supportive now recently, and everybody's looking forward to next year, and everybody's is on board with Coach Hoiberg and where the program's at and where it's going, and it's just funny just to listen to folks. And I'm pretty quiet. I kind of sit back in the cut, just listen, and because I'm going to be positive no matter what. We can lose our first 10 games next year. I'm going to find some positivity. I'm not saying that's going to happen, Bill, but. But I'm always going to be behind the program, and it's a real reason behind that, because I just feel that alumni owes it to the players, the current players, to always be in support. The last thing a current player needs to see is alumni criticizing them and beating them up in media, social media, on the radio, what have you. And if I was still living there and still in shape, I'd still be playing with them. So working out with him, really getting to know him like I did with Tyronn Lue and the rest of them.
T, you mentioned Ann Prince. I just want to throw this out there. I'll throw it back to you, Hooks, here in a second.
Yeah.
But incredible 4-year run at Elkhorn North. Obviously, she's coaching her daughter, who's just a great talent. But school opens in 2020. In the first 4 seasons, her only 4 seasons at Elkhorn North now that she has retired from coaching basketball, 4 state titles with a 97-5 record. Like, holy cow. That's the 4 years. And then you say, you know what? I can't beat that. I'm done. I got to respect it. The mic drop. Exactly, Hooksy.
And if Amy Williams is smart, I would put her on her staff. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. And
she could be an analyst of some sort.
Well, Ann was a point guard, I do believe. I think she ran points, so she knows the game. And then being able to, regardless how great her daughter was, she knows the game. And even though her daughter was a talent, but she was able to bring her teammates around her, and 4 state titles, 97-5.
Crazy.
I didn't realize that. I knew she won 4 state titles, but I didn't realize the record was 97-5. I'm going to have to give her a text and say, oh my goodness. But no, I'll be seeing her quite a bit. I'll be getting back for some games and watching the daughter play along with the men's. And, I'm going to spend a lot more time in Nebraska this year, because I can work from anywhere other than the 3rd week of the month where I have to be in the office here. So,
T, I'm going to put you on the spot just a little bit, just because it's something I learned, and maybe I don't know why it took me so long, because I think Nebraska basketball fans get a bad rap of not having knowledge, of just being, oh, you're a basketball fan because you're a football fan, and you're in Memphis because you just love Nebraska. You don't know what you're talking about. But I got to tell you what, we're sitting in the Rum Boogie Cafe. That's where the Husker alumni event was.
Yeah.
And just T and I were sitting there hanging out. Jeff was sitting there hanging out. My buddy Murray, like there was a bunch of people hanging out. The number of people that knew who Henry T. Buchanan was. No, I'm not lying. Like the Husker knowledge and the knowledge of basketball, the knowledge of hoops and the knowledge of teams, it gave me a different perspective. And I'm a Tar Heel fan. You guys know that. I'm a 2001. I got here. I love Nebraska, everything sports. But I think the rap of Nebraska basketball fans not knowing what the hell they're talking about, that they're just there for a good party, is gone for me.
Yeah, and I have to agree. And it's, and sometimes, I'm pretty, I ain't gonna call myself shy, but kind of embarrasses me when someone comes up and Henry T. Buchanan. I'm like, I enjoy watching you play. You know, I graduated in 1988, fellas. I mean, and you still get fans around that remembers, oh, you were my favorite player, or I was their father's favorite player, and they talk about our team and how we got Danny Nee's program started. We were part of the first 2 years of his career at State Farm at Nebraska, and just to know, and of course we know about the fans. The fans, I mean, it's Nebraska. I would tell any and everybody, and you'll hear it every player on every team when they get interviewed. We got the best fans in the world, or the coaches say it. And no, y'all have no idea what fans are like until you come to Nebraska. Case in point, the volleyball game with 90,000 plus fans to watch a volleyball game. That's Nebraska fans, fellas. And and we're everywhere. I can't go through an airport. I've yet to travel, because I wear my Nebraska gear, yet to travel without someone saying "Go Big Red."
I had to beat people down. I'm like, hey, T needs a 5-minute break. He's got to get some food.
I'm just imagining these poor Husker fans walking up to Henry T. Buchanan being like, wow, starstruck, and then looking at Hooksy and being like, what little white point guard could this be? I don't know who this guy is.
Funny part is, I was talking to a guy that was on my flight Monday, flying back, and God, where is he from? Well, he knows a couple of people. Wahoo. He lives in Wahoo, and he knew Jason Glock and some others, and him and I were just talking about the game and the tournament and things, and he was there with a friend, and his last comment to me is like, he is going to be he said John, or whatever his name is, going to be so pissed that I met Henry T. Buchanan, was on the same flight. And I'm sitting there like, what? And I'm like, it's all good, because I talk to any and everybody, I've never met a stranger myself. So but it's still nice to hear that every once in a while, because how passionate our fans are. And now that I became a fan along, as being an alumni, and I see it from a fan's perspective as well. And I totally understand. And we got 7 All-Americans, wrestlers, and then we just win. I mean, I just saw something. We just won gymnastics conference. Yeah. I mean, Nebraska is Nebraska, man. And we're good at everything. So go Big Red all day long.
It is definitely on the up and up, T, man. Well, man, I'm a little jealous. I see the sunlight behind you, by the way.
Oh yeah, it's supposed to get up to about 80. It's supposed to get up to 80 today. So it's it's still haven't hit. It's still season. It's still kind of cool for this time of the year. Is normally already in the hundreds, but I'll take the 80 for right now. And when it gets in the hundreds, I'll be ready for it as well.
Hey, here in Lincoln, we're supposed to be above freezing next hour. So that's
next hour we're gonna get above freezing.
What is it?
Like 31.
It's 29 right now.
Oh.
Yeah, you're welcome. Listen, I'm sure Shoe probably in his robe or something still.
Oh yeah. And no, he'll go golfing, and he has his little heater. I guess he purchased one of those miniature heaters, so he has the cover over his golf cart, and he has the heater going, and looking at everybody else freeze, ride by himself, won't let nobody ride with him. Mr. Selfish himself.
Well, T, man, always a pleasure, my friend. I can't, man, take care of yourself, and man, we'll keep rocking this, man. It's so much fun to have you around.
Oh, yeah, I enjoyed
again, for me, it was on. It was awesome.
Hey, North Carolina's still in there.
Dude, they got 4. Hey, I'm not a conference guy. You know that, right? I don't really care about the rest of them, but the fact that the national narrative, the ACC, was down, they got 4 of those 16 sitting there ready to play. 4 of them. And
Elijah, a pleasure meeting you as well.
I probably confused you. I sent T the link from Will's email.
Oh, did you really?
He's probably confused showing up.
Well, it said William. I'm like, who the hell is William?
Oh, T, you're the man, brother. We'll talk to you soon. Go ahead.
Elijah, please send me this. Can you email me this? This
yeah, we got you. We got you.
I send this to the family, and if I forget, man, that they within an hour they're on me. Where's the show?
Where's the link? Where's the show?
Where's the link? So
that's all. You're the man, bro. We'll talk to you soon.
Right, take care. All right.
Husker legend Henry T. Buchanan right there in the morning hookup. Let's take another break, and when we come back, we'll do some stories that we missed. Nice. T does. We send him the link. He sends it to everybody and anybody, including Coach Hoiberg. Every show.
That's why.
And buddies that he's met here in town, of like my buddy Kubi, all my golf. He sends it to all of them. He's the best.
Look at that.
It's good.
That is good stuff. We are going to be kind of up against it here, just to let you know, Hooks.
All right,
and
perfect.
to let the listeners on stream know.
Hey, we're up against it.
We got 1 minute and 15 seconds for stories that we missed.
Perfect. Shohei bets on baseball. Done.
You see that picture from a couple days ago that was Shohei standing next to Mookie Betts and everyone's laughing?
Yes.
Shohei
Ohtani Betts.
Oh, that's too good. No, that story is just
that's insane.
Weird because
the fact that they were trying to figure out the timeline of he was with his interpreter still and the story already broke.
Yeah. Well, like his interpreter had done some press thing, like some responses to questions about this, and blew it up because he's like, oh yeah, Shohei's just helping me out here. I'm helping me cover some of these debts. And then that, like, after the interview wraps up, Shohei's legal team reaches out to the reporters and says, no, that's not it. No, we looked into this. Turns out he's stealing from us.
He's not.
Which is absolutely just
weird. It's weird.
Oh, you just realized that if Shohei was paying off somebody else's bets, that'd be an MLB violation.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to take a fall.
Did you see Pete Rose's classic response?
I wish I had an interpreter back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's wow. Good stuff. Thanks for hanging out with us, man. Elijah, you're the man today. T's so good. So good to us.
We got Ryan chiming in on the stream.
Clearly 2 hours needed. Can't fit all of this greatness in.
Say that again.
We have the best. Yeah, we'll come back. We'll get a little fun. We'll preview tomorrow and preview what's coming up for you guys.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I do have another show today.
You do.
Don't I?
You're here a lot today.
It's just one of those weeks.
You were here a lot early. When did you hear Monday for news?
Last Friday I was in for Carol, and then Monday and Tuesday I was in for Carol as well. Yeah, no, that you never get used to that wake up call. That 4:30 alarm going off never gets.
When I walked in on Monday, Will didn't look very happy or very
No, what's nice for me is I have that long gap in between.
You can do it, get out.
I mean, the show's done at 9. I'm out of here at 9:15 or 9:30, whenever I want to be. And then it's like, I don't have to be back in until 2.
Will will be back tomorrow. He's taking a much needed personal morning.
Mm-hmm.
He's been burning it at both ends. He needs a break.
So good for him. I actually went and that gap between shows went and gave some blood yesterday.
Good for you.
Yeah. It was
well done.
We had we had Mix 103.3 rocking on the radio set while we're giving blood.
Nice.
I'm like, I sit right next to that thing though.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I played a hooky yesterday. I took my wife. She had the procedure, and I'm one of those where you can't drive.
Mm-hmm.
And I got her home, which is fine. She made muffins out of the gate. I'm like, I don't know if you should be operating an oven, right? So I'm like, well, I'm gonna make this. I'm taking care of my wife all day long. Within an hour, she was asleep, taking a nap after muffins, and I was watching TV by myself. I'm like, well, I'm taking care of her all day.
That's not bad.
No, that's what I did. And we got a haircut.
Do you enjoy any muffins?
No. If I do, it's a problem.
What flavor of muffins were there?
Oh, our house is blueberry all day long.
Ooh,
our kids are blueberry muffin fanatics.
You ever had peach muffins?
Nope.
Peach muffins.
Peach. I do if I'm eating any dessert, because I'm not a big sweets guy, give me some peach cobbler.
Oh, see, that's the thing with the peach muffins is you can get like a little cobbler top going on them.
Oh,
some sugar and yeah.
Problem is I eat one.
And he turns into 3 or 4.
They're gone.
Yep.
I look at him and gain weight at my age.
I'm getting there. I was talking about that with Schmitty on the morning show just the other day of like, man, I wish I could go back and tell 17, 18-year-old me to enjoy it while you can.
Yes.
Because you think this is normal. You're like, oh, yeah.
But tell the 25-year-old, 25, right?
Oh, yeah.
In your body now, don't stop at 40, okay? So keep going.
It just keeps getting worse.
Think about your head now and just fast forward it because it's going to get worse. So don't stop.
We're one McDouble.
Keep the good habit.
You.
Yeah, buddy. Those after bar mistakes.
That's
or the fact that or the fact that I left at a 6 a.m. flight out of Memphis at on Saturday, and I stayed up till 1.
Oh, we're coming back here.
This is the morning hookup on KFOR.
Yes, you have. Welcome back in the morning hookup. Special thanks to Henry T. Buchanan, as he always does. Brings the joy, man, the energy for Nebraska basketball and Husker athletics. So we got a minute left, so we're going to get to it. Tomorrow we'll be back, and we'll have tomorrow's I'm not going to call it our favorite day, but it's open show day, and it's Ask Will Anything tomorrow. You can ask him where he was and see where if he brings out where he was tomorrow. Ask Will Anything is tomorrow.
That's a dangerous segment.
And we'll talk a lot of Sweet 16. It starts tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Games start back tomorrow, and I know a lot of people are like geared back up.
We need Shohei's locks. I want to hear what Shohei's.
Yeah, Shohei. Yeah, Shohei. What do you got for us? We'll go through the Sweet 16 tomorrow. So, and also, Elijah, I appreciate you for hanging out with me today. They're on 4 to 6. What do you guys got coming up on Hale Varsity?
Plenty coming up today. Is their usual Wednesday guest. We got Mike Babcock. We got Evan Blaine. We also have Jeremiah Searles. Should be fun this afternoon.
That'd be
4
awesome.
to 6.
Awesome. Check out those guys again. You guys, thanks for hanging out with us on a hump day. Stay warm out there. We'll catch you on a Thursday.